It is the RadioU podcast. This is the Tuesday, December 19th edition. I am Hudson, joined, as I so often am, by my friend Isaiah. We never really introduce ourselves on this show anymore.
You're right. We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah, what hubris. What big egos we have to just assume the people tuning in are familiar with who we are.
It's funny because you say my name a lot. I never say your name.
There could be people right now that just found out my name is Hudson. They've listened to 100 episodes. And this is their first introduction to who I actually am.
Well, today on the Worst of The RIOT podcast,
Starring Hudson and Isaiah.
we talk about some of the best Christmas movie characters of all time.
Yes. We also discuss why people today are mad at Taylor Swift and, to a lesser extent, Travis Kelce, and the gifts you know you're going to get every year for Christmas.
We wrap it up by talking about the audacity of the man and how Hudson and I think they may be bluffing.
Love this one. Great show. Enjoy. We'll catch you next time.
See you guys.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The Worst of the Riot. RadioU.
Good day. Welcome to Tuesday on the show. Hello, Isaiah.
Hi there.
We're both dressed very Christmassy today.
We got our red on.
We got our red. I got red and green going.
Oh, nice.
So we are, carrying the torch for Christmas. Probably the only ones dressed like this today.
Wearing the color red?
Yeah, and green. I think so. I bet you. Very unique. At Chuck E. Cheese, they're trying to get more adults in the door. So they've just announced what may be considered their first ever offering specifically for adults. Chuck E. Cheese now has their own grown-up menu. Would you like to know what's on it?
Sure.
They've got specialty pizzazz for pizza.
Now that sounds grown up.
Yeah, only grown-ups would have pizzazz. It includes a signature meatball pizza, which has spinach on it. No child would eat that. Also, a barbecue chicken pizza, a spicy Hawaiian, and a spicy barbecue piggy pizza. So they've got that. Also, Wing Fling, which is 3 new wing sauces and 2 new rubs of barbecue wing sauce. And then also you can get meatballs in your choice of sauce, and then adult dessert, which include Buddy's famous cakes by the slice. Yet again, no child would want that, would they?
No kid wants cake.
No, not cake. Does this, you're an adult, does this entice you more to go to Chuck E. Cheese, first of all?
No. 0%.
Not interested.
I'm not eating meatballs at Chuck E. Cheese. There's a 0% chance that's happening.
They thought that's what would get you.
They really thought that was, that's in shock for
That's
me.
the key.
Meatballs was the choice.
The reason that adults aren't coming to Chuck E. Cheese is because we don't have meatballs.
Like, why in the world would they serve meatballs at Chuck E. Cheese? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't really seem like it fits the bill of the building.
So now my question, because they clearly want adults to come to Chuck E. Cheese, why? Why do they want adults there?
Spend more money.
Well, I guess that's a given.
When the kids come, they only get however much money the party has.
Yeah.
Or maybe their parents give them before they come. And so when they walk in the door, there's a set number or a set amount of money. Whereas if an adult comes in, unlimited.
So maybe you're thinking, and Chuck E. Cheese is thinking, most of the time we have birthday parties here, except for the parents that are like of the birthday child. Everybody else drops their kids off. They don't want to be involved in it. But maybe if we have meatballs, they'll stay and spend money on the meatballs.
They'll treat it like a casino.
Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese, you walk in the door, you have no idea how much money you'll end up spending.
So do you also think it could be because there's not a good ratio of children to adults?
Way too many children.
Yeah, not enough chaperones around. Could be another.
Could be that too.
Another bonus. That's about all that makes sense to me. Or they just want adults to just show up without kids is also an option.
Like a Dave and Buster's vibe.
Yeah. Can we write that off? Should Chuck E. Cheese write that off?
Yes. It's not happening.
Not happening. Not as long as your mascot is a cartoon rat.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Tim Hortons has new peppermint Timbits on their holiday menu. They also have a new brown butter caramel latte. And I was looking, it seems they also have a gingerbread oat milk latte as well, which we did not order. But thanks to listener Susanna cluing us in, I didn't even know these things existed. But she let us know about the brown butter caramel latte. We've got that here to try, along with the peppermint Timbits, a very Christmassy food fight today.
I just sniffed the latte.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I'm going to like it.
Why not? You don't like caramel?
By sniff alone, it's giving me some weird smells.
What is brown butter? Do you know?
I have no idea.
It's just like butter that like you melt and kind of like crisp up a little bit, right?
I would assume so.
Is that what it is? You just tasted it. Is that what it tastes like to you?
Doesn't really taste like that. Tastes like,
I kind of like it.
See, for me, it's not doing much for me here.
It kind of has like a toastiness to it.
Does it taste like Christmas?
No, it doesn't taste
like
particularly
coffee to me.
Christmassy. It's not very sweet either, which might be why you don't like it.
It's not very sweet now.
But
when I think of a Christmas latte,
yeah,
I was expecting maybe a little bit more, some sprinkles or something.
So maybe you should have gotten the gingerbread.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I kind of like this, but I have a predisposition to always like Tim Hortons coffee. So
I do like Tim Hortons coffee usually, and this isn't bad. If I had to drink this whole thing, I could.
You do. We paid for it.
I will not be drinking the whole thing.
We also have the new peppermint Timbits, which this is the kind of thing. It's obviously going to be Christmassy, and I wish I'd found out about this earlier.
Now that's good.
Is yours really pepperminty?
Mine's a hint of peppermint.
Yeah. Mine is so hardly peppermint. I think I taste it, but I'm concerned that I just got a chocolate Timbit.
Oh. It's not like you can see the little red sprinkles on it.
Yeah.
Like the one I have in my hand now, this one has a bunch. And it's really good. This is very good.
I mean, it's definitely good. Tim Hortons, the Timbits, they know what they're doing with those. But I feel like mine isn't very minty.
But that's good though.
Not too minty.
I think it's perfect.
I mean, I definitely eat more of these.
If I were
we are going to run out.
If I were to get a pack of Timbits right now, I would for sure get these in there.
They would go quick.
Because it's not like the regular chocolate. It's just something a little bit different.
Yeah, I tasted it. It's very slight, but it's actually pretty nice. I give the coffee a 4. It's not my favorite, but I would enjoy it. The brown butter caramel latte. Peppermint Timbits, 4.5. Not my favorite Timbit, but I do like them a lot.
I would give the coffee probably like a 3.2. I wouldn't order it. But if we ordered coffees here at Radio U and it was sitting in the break room and it was one of the options, I would take it.
Yeah.
If it was the only one. And then the Timbit, probably like a 4.4, 4.5. I would order it.
We're in agreement. It's a good Timbit.
I would toss it in my variety pack. If I order Timbits this holiday season, I'll be tossing those right in there with the honey dips.
I'm glad we got to do Tim Hortons. Thanks to Susanna for even letting us know. In fact, I'm ashamed I didn't know without her help. But there's our Christmassy food fight for today.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
Surely you've seen a blobfish before, right? You've seen the pictures.
Looks like snot.
It does. It looks like snot. It's got a big nose, and it walks around town with a frown on its face. It is it's a sad, mushy looking fish. Some say the ugliest fish in the world. It's like a deep sea creature. Apparently, according to fish expert Alex Stoltznow from Australia, it's also the world's best tasting fish.
Who's to say?
A fish expert. He says that as far as he knows, he's the only person in existence that has tried it.
Then we can't just trust his word and his only.
It's got a 100% positive rating on Rotten Tomatoes right now. On Rotten Fish.
One person has tried it, and they just so happen to say, I think it's the best tasting fish.
Yeah. He said, it was rich and sweet. It tasted like butter poached lobster tail. We like lobster tail, don't we? The flesh was, I hate that word. The flesh was particularly nice, he says. It is unclear if it was seasoned or if it was just pure blobfish. But either way, it's a rare fish to be found and served because fishermen don't fish for it. It's only even an option when they accidentally catch one, which is rare. They say maybe like a half dozen are caught each year.
Which is shocking because he said the blobfish is actually cheap. Costs less than $5.
Because nobody wants it. But that could all change if people start to realize how good it supposedly tastes. Would you ever eat this thing?
I would give it a try. I'd take a bite if it was cooked.
Would you eat it? Let's say, because there's different kinds of fish. There's like Gorton's fish, Vanderkamp's that you get, and it doesn't look like fish at all. Or there's the situation where it's like the whole fish is cooked and its eyes looking back at you when you're eating it. Could you do this one when its eyes looking back at you?
I'm taking one bite.
Even if it looks the way it looks right there.
Yeah, I'll cut out a bite.
Wow. That's impressive.
If I'm at a restaurant,
yeah.
Now that he says it's the best tasting fish ever, why wouldn't I?
Well, yeah, we got to give it a shot.
Yeah.
If ever presented with the opportunity, it would be hard. But with any fish, I don't like looking at them while I eat them. That's not a preferred. I don't like seeing lobster. It's not a good look. These aren't good looking creatures. But you probably wouldn't want to eat a cow if it was looking back at you either. But I can see, just based off of the blobfish, like the way it's all mushy, I can see why it might taste good.
Fatty. It looks fatty.
I'm sure it's not fatty at all.
But it looks fatty.
But it looks fatty, and I like fatty. I sure do. So now if you ever get the chance to eat a blobfish, you should give it a chance. It might be the best thing, at least the best fish you ever taste. If you can bring yourself to do it.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Now, have you ever heard this claim before, Isaiah? That in the wintertime, the best thing to do? Sleep naked.
It's cold outside. That makes no sense.
It's cold outside, but it makes perfect sense according to sleep expert Sammy Margot, who claims that, especially in the wintertime, it's important to sleep naked because it helps your body's circadian rhythm, your sleep-wake cycle. According to Margot, falling into a deep sleep is linked to cooling your body. So allowing your body to cool down by sleeping naked can signal to you that it's time to sleep.
I'm not really much of a naked sleeper.
Maybe just in underwear?
Yeah.
That can cool you down. It does feel like a give and take a little bit. Because sure, maybe there's some possibilities that it makes your bed or makes you sleep a little better. Possibly, maybe. But also, doesn't it feel like it makes your bed a little dirtier?
You think so?
Yeah, just like more of your body, like all the sweat and whatever from sleeping, making contact. But maybe you'd sweat less because you'd be cold.
What I don't understand is people that sleep completely clothed. That's crazy to me.
So you're in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, sleeping completely clothed is tough.
What about like I think if you have PJs,
Yeah.
that's different as well. Because I'll rock a pair of PJs.
Uh-huh. Why is that different from completely clothed? Just because the pajamas are meant for sleeping?
Well, yeah, and because the PJs that I have are just bottoms.
Okay.
So I'm not wearing socks. I'm not wearing a shirt.
Yeah. Oh, socks. It's crazy. I always think it's crazy people sleep with socks. Let me ask you this. I don't know if it's always the same for you. Are you more likely to sleep pantsless or shirtless?
Shirtless. There's never a time I'm sleeping with my shirt on.
Never.
No, because it feels like I get all tangled up.
Uh-huh.
I wake up in the middle of the night and I feel like I'm twisted. Why is my shirt like choking me?
I've never experienced that.
My armpit is like feeling all weird because it's all twisted underneath.
Yeah.
That's my main issue with a shirt.
Because I'm always more likely to take off pants and just sleep in underwear.
That's crazy. That's wild.
And it's rare that I would sleep in a shirt. I mean, that I won't sleep with a shirt on. It's pretty rare.
What?
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, I understand. I think a lot of people sleep with their shirts off, but so it's not.
I mean, I guess if you're wearing jeans,
the concept isn't foreign to me, but
I guess if I was choosing between a t-shirt and jeans, I would take the jeans off.
I feel much more comfortable with my shirt on than I would with my shirt
sweatpants
off.
on?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's usually shorts.
Got it.
Yeah.
So you sleep with your shirt on every night?
Pretty much, yeah. But apparently, I need to question that. Maybe maybe that's why I'm so tired all the time.
That's the one thing I couldn't sleep on.
No shirt for you.
Oh, chance.
It's
sometimes
usually
I will sleep with shorts on. Every now and then, if I'm feeling a little brisk, if I'm feeling a little cold.
Yeah.
My room's a little bit colder than I was expecting when I walk in there. But no chance, no matter what. It could be 10 degrees in my bedroom. No chance I'm sleeping with a shirt on.
Maybe
that's a risk I'm not willing to take.
You know what you need? You need a good sleep shirt. You need a shirt that's like 3 sizes too big for you. And it's all worn out. Maybe that would change your mind.
I don't think so. There's no chance at this point.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the Riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, RadioU.
Who is your favorite Christmas movie character?
That's a good question.
Some might say Santa. If that's your answer, you're going to need to be more specific, like which Santa. But that's the question. People can start texting in on it at 877-2RadioU. And I'll tell you why I bring it up is because I watched a movie on your recommendation last night.
I watched a Christmas movie last night, too.
What did you watch?
I watched the original Santa Claus with Tim Allen.
That's a good one, right?
Good movie.
Compact disc. I watched the newest Grinch, the Benedict Cumberbatch Minions style Grinch.
The animated one.
Yes. Thoughts on it? It was okay. Once I got through the Pentatonix God Rest You Merry Gentlemen song at the beginning, which I hate. After that, the movie was okay. It did feel like a more inefficient telling. Like I like the original because the original is like 20 minutes and this one was an hour and a half. But other than that, still the same story, still very good. I was thinking though, in the movie, one of the things I thought was Max from The Grinch, one of the all-time Christmas movie characters. How could you not like Max?
Good character.
The Grinch's dog. Also, specific to the new Grinch, I forget the character's name. He's definitely played by Kenan, though. Kenan Thompson.
Yeah.
The guy with the beard. Great character as well.
Yes, what is his name?
Is it Richie? Or am I making that up? You look that up. I like the movie. I did have one issue with it. And that is, as people text in, that in The Grinch and in many, I guess this is more of a kid's movie thing, whenever there's like a lonely, isolated character like the Grinch, the end of the story, the end of the character's arc is usually like somebody invites that character to something and the character hasn't ever been invited to anything. And so they're like, no one's ever invited me. And that's all I've ever wanted. And then they're happy. But I don't know if anybody's like me. I'm a little lonely. I identify with the Grinch a lot. I also very fuzzy often naked, hang out in a cave. But I don't identify with the Grinch is, if somebody invited me to something, that would not make my heart go 3 sizes. I would say, probably, no, I don't want to go.
Grinch. You're worse than the Grinch, actually.
Yeah, apparently I am.
Kenan Thompson, Bricklebum.
Bricklebum. Richie, Bricklebum. Close.
Yeah, you were right there.
Good character. Nevertheless, I know it's a good message to send that, yeah, just say something nice to somebody. Invite them to your party, even if you don't really like them. For a lot of people that are like the Grinch, that might not work. They might just be very introverted, and that would make them very anxious. They don't want to do it. But other than that, good movie. Let's talk good Christmas characters.
All right, so we're doing Christmas characters.
Christmas movie characters.
Got it.
Off of that. Yeah. 8772 Radio U. We'll see what people are saying next.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
What's your favorite Christmas movie character? Started this all out by saying Max from The Grinch. Hard to beat. Just lovable. Lovable. What does he do wrong? Nothing. He's mistreated. That's about it. People are texting in. Chad kicked us off by saying John McClane from Die Hard. Okay, but who's your favorite Christmas movie character, though, is what we wanted to know.
That's one of the really popular choices.
Yeah.
On all the lists, John McClane is a top 10er, so that's a good one.
And then Frog, Whitey, and Adam Sandler's main character from 8 Crazy Nights. I'll allow it. Hanukkah movie. You're still good to go on that one. It's a good underrated choice. Adam says Clark Griswold from Christmas Vacation. He says, it brings me joy when I see him lose his mind because I've been there. Well, we know how Isaiah feels about Clark Griswold.
Iconic character.
Cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation, also pretty lovable, right?
One of my choices.
A lovable doofus. Do you know what this is? Emily said Pete from Santa and Pete.
Came out in 1999.
Oh, so yeah, you're familiar? Is that like, is that a Disney? No. Is that a Nickelodeon thing?
I don't think so.
Oh, because there's a show called Pete and Pete. Here's a good one. Tom. Arnold Schwarzenegger from Jingle All the Way. Now we're talking.
Now we're thinking.
Now, that's when we were looking for Christmas movie characters. That's what we were looking for. Susanna says she doesn't really like a lot of Christmas movies, so she'll go with the Grinch.
It's a good choice.
She also says the Grinch jazzercises, and she jazzercises, so
you have so much in common.
You do have a lot.
You don't like Christmas movies, and you both jazzercise.
Yeah, yeah. What else you got for me, Isaiah? You've never gotten your chance to answer.
Some of the other ones that I like, obviously I'm a big fan of the Grinch. Cousin Eddie was up there. I like all the Tim Allen Santa Claus movies.
Yeah.
So him and Scott Calvin, I love those movies.
He is usually pretty funny throughout that. Yeah.
Other ones I considered, I liked Jack Skellington.
That's
from
a good
A Nightmare
choice.
Before Christmas.
Yes.
And then if I had to do one more honorable mention, probably an iconic character for me, Cindy Lou Who.
Ooh, yes. Very wholesome. Very innocent. I like, who else should I mention? You know, I don't even know his name, but whoever the manager guy is at the Gimbals in Elf, great character.
Yep.
Elf is full of great characters, to say the least. And I don't know. Who do you think is the best Christmas movie Santa Claus?
Tim Allen.
Going with that one, huh?
I still lean that one.
It's hard to go against that, right? Because
some people might say Violent Night if you really like Violent Night.
Yeah, that's true. David Harbour in that. Obviously, a very different take on Santa Claus, but a good choice nonetheless. And I think a lot of people might say, Ed Asner is the guy who plays it, recently passed away in Elf, is a real good take on Santa Claus too, because it just feels like what you might expect Santa Claus if you actually met him what you might expect him to be like. 8772 Radio U. You're always welcome to text in your favorite Christmas movie characters. Melanie chiming in with Linus from Charlie Brown. He kind of sums it all up, gives you the real good summation at the end of the thing. So I like that. Good choice. 8772 Radio U. Text in with your faves.
The only thing Isaiah loves more than the riot is himself.
Someone who probably still lives with his mother and hates himself.
You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
A new report has come out with what some are saying alarming numbers included, where this is from the UK. A surprising amount of people are open to the idea of having multiple partners, dating multiple people, polygamy. Now, it is important to note, it says a surprising number of people, mostly men.
That's nothing to joke about.
It's not a joke. These numbers are real. From the UK, about 1 out of every 3 men is open to supposedly a polygamous relationship, whereas only 11% of women are interested in the same. Yeah, about a third of that. A third of men is interested. A third of that third of women is interested.
Well, I would say here, there's no 1 in 3 men, no chance, right?
I'm sure a lot of men would say, you know what I think is that a lot of men would
give it to them.
In a survey, they'd be like, yeah, I would love to date multiple women. And but then when a gal they actually like is like, would you want to date other women? And like in a, would you? And
what would you say? Like
he would go, no.
Yeah.
Of course not.
So you're telling me, so like if Angela comes to you, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, Hudson, would you ever want to date other women? You would say, well, come on, you take it seriously. What would you say?
I would say no.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
To me, obviously, there's the tradition side of it, but also, don't you think that it would diminish the meaning of your relationship with the person that you're actually with if you're starting being with multiple people?
Yeah.
Then it throws a whole bunch of monkey wrenches in. So, but I'm not going to fool myself about the mind of a man. I believe that a lot of guys, you ask them in a survey, they're going to say yes. But the answer should be no. You don't know what you're getting, what you're asking for there. Be careful what you wish for.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Not for me. I know that some people's cups, some people say like, oh no, we can make it work.
We're mature. I don't like hearing that. The people that are in polygamous relationships, that they seem to be above you.
Oh yeah.
They're like, you just can't handle it.
You can't handle the truth.
I'm normal. You are the ones that are wild. Stop trying to make me feel bad.
Yeah, I would say for me, yet again, I'm cool with just the one.
Yeah, 1 is enough. 1 is enough.
Sometimes 1's more than enough.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
We're not sure who behaves worse, the riot or their dogs.
I don't even know how to behave like a real human being.
The Riot, Radio U.
It brings me no pleasure to inform you that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are at it again. And by it, I mean traveling. I don't know if you've seen this, but apparently their relationship is an environmental disaster for our planet. Check this out. Based on statistics tracked by Taylor Swift Jet's Instagram account, which is it's an Instagram that's dedicated just to finding out where Taylor Swift's planes are flying all the time. She put out on her trips a total of 138 tons of CO2 emissions, which is equivalent to be canceled out. It would take her planting 2,282 trees and allowing those trees to grow for 10 years to offset the environmental damage that her planes have supposedly done. And that's not all. It also states that she's used the amount of energy equivalent to 17 homes in an entire year. The electricity used by 27 homes, give or take, in an entire year. Does this bother you?
I have mixed feelings on it.
Yeah.
One,
you hate the environment, but 2, you hate Taylor Swift.
No. One part of me is like, if you have the money for it, who am I to say, don't fly your personal jet?
Yeah.
As if I am some goody boy who's doing everything right for the environment, which I know I'm not.
Yeah. I know you're always throwing cans out your windows when you're driving.
I do not litter. Do not litter. But I might not be a huge part of the problem. But am I a big part of the solution? I haven't been thus far.
Yeah. So who are you to judge?
So for anybody on their high horse saying that she shouldn't be taking her plane, let me ask you this. How many trees have you planted today?
Yeah. That's a good point. I feel that now Taylor Swift routinely, over the past several years, comes in near the top of celebrities that produce a lot of emissions as far as CO2 goes. So, she has a track record of this. But I also feel that this is the type of thing that it's just all based on you're only upset if you don't like the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that are complaining about this, they don't like Taylor Swift anyways. And this is one more reason to be like, see, look, she sucks. But I could tell you, if I told you that somebody that you like was doing something similar with their private planes, you would not have would bat an eye. You would be like, whatever, it's their private plane, which typically I feel is, I don't know, I care about the environment too, but a private plane's a private plane. Now, her representatives defend her by saying, at least in the past, they've said, well, these are her private planes, but she loans them out. So she's letting her friends fly, as if that means that it's not hurting the environment. I don't, either they're hurting the environment or not. It doesn't matter who's inside.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still a plane flying around.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, she's not the one flying in it, all right? Take it easy on her. It's her friends.
If her friends want to pollute the environment,
that's different.
With CO2.
Come on.
Yeah, blame them, not her. I don't know. Maybe I should. Maybe I just don't understand the environment enough to really, truly be as upset as I should. But I don't know. I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it.
Just plant some more trees. Clearly, I think maybe Taylor should plant some trees.
Yeah.
Has she posted on Instagram planting trees recently?
Maybe it's not even on her. If every Swiftie just planted a tree, boom, that'd be more than enough to offset her emissions. So
it's pretty easy to plant a tree, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Sometimes in my yard, they grow by accident, which I let them live for the environment to cancel out Taylor Swift.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
You can think to yourself right now, when I open presents on Christmas morning, I know I'm going to get blank. What is the blank? 877-2 Radio U. What's that thing you get every year? It might be from one specific person every year, too. I always get this from this person. What is it? Let us know at 877-2 Radio U.
For me, there's many things. My mom does a good job of having certain things that she gets us every year.
Yep.
Underwear.
Always
socks,
need those.
A lot of hygiene stuff.
Okay.
Deodorant, colognes. Toothpaste. Sometimes, if we're lucky, she'll toss in a teeth whitening kit.
Ooh.
That's always a good gift every year. I look forward to. They're not cheap.
They're not cheap. That's why I can't buy them.
New toothbrushes.
Uh-huh. You know how often you're supposed to change your toothbrush?
I think it's like every 3 months.
I don't know. I feel like whatever I think it is, it's more often than that. So it's probably like every month.
Probably.
You probably, you can't go wrong by changing it more often either. Like, what's the worst that could happen? 8772 Radio U. Is that the kind of stuff you know you're definitely going to be getting on Christmas morning, even though it's all supposed to be a surprise? What's that thing that you always know you're going to find under the tree or in your stocking every time Christmas rolls around? 8772 Radio U. We'll see what people are saying coming up next.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow at RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
Talking the Christmas gift you know you're going to get every year, the same thing. It's probably from your mom, right? That thing that there's just a few things that you know you have such assurance that every year you'll find them under the tree. Isaiah was saying a lot of, like toothpaste,
hygiene,
deodorant, cologne, that kind of stuff from his mom. What's yours? 8772 Radio U. Esther says makeup every year. That's interesting. I actually have a survey here of the most likely things to receive every year. Makeup did come in at number 4. Pretty surprising.
Well, I think it's because makeup, you know exactly what you need.
Yeah.
So you can tell your mom, this is the makeup I use, and it's an easy gift for them.
Yeah, that makes...
Because there's no way to go outside the box. Like a lot of times, like with clothes, people don't always want you to tell them exactly what clothes you want because they feel like they could go outside the box and find something you'll like.
Yeah.
With makeup, there's only certain things that you even can use.
Right.
That'll match like your skin color and things like that. And so that's an easy one that mom or dad or boyfriend can just go and buy because there's no way for them to work outside the box.
Wow, I didn't know you knew so much about makeup.
You know me, brother.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Heather says, just like you said this underwear. Always know you're going to get underwear from a certain family member probably loves stocking you up on the underwear. Let's see. Oh, we have Susanna here who says books. Always know you're going to get a book. You must be a big reader then. That'd be tough. You always. Why do they keep giving me books? They know I don't read, right?
They're trying to get you to read.
What message are they trying to send?
Maybe I'll get you a book this year.
Yeah. I'll tell you the top answer on the list, and this makes a lot of sense, although nobody's texted it in yet, is candy. Candy or chocolate, which is true. Yeah.
Interesting.
47% of people in the survey said that they know they're always going to get candy every year. That is true. I don't always know where it comes from, but somehow I always wind up with Reese's Christmas trees. I guess it's Santa. Santa's doing it probably. Just showing up, filling the stocking with a bunch of candy and chocolate, which who's upset about that? Nobody. Some of the other ones at the top of the list, something homemade came in at number 2. You ever get any homemade gifts?
Not really.
Maybe that's people with kids. They like get the macaroni art or something.
Yeah, I don't get anything homemade, I don't think.
This one makes a lot of sense. Surprising that it wasn't higher on the list. A gift card or money. You don't know who always is good, but you just know, right? In this day and age, odds are a gift card's coming from somebody.
I love a good gift card.
But that was still only 46% of people saying that was something they knew they would always get. Then was makeup, books, and then like the rest of the list is all the stuff that you listed off that you get from your mom, which is like underwear, hygiene products, things of that nature.
The wild thing, this is the funniest thing. This isn't for me because my mom always gets me stuff that I want.
Yeah.
On these reoccurring gifts.
Uh-huh.
Imagine if somebody got you reoccurring gifts that you didn't like, but they thought it was like their thing.
Yeah.
I can imagine this happening already. Like if you told your mom or your cousin or your uncle that you like this one thing one time, you kind of like this cologne when you were like 11 years old. And ever since then, you're now 31 years old, and your one aunt has been getting you that same Axe cologne that you're like, Suzanne, like I don't use this anymore. It's been 25 years.
A distant family, not even, it could be your aunt, but it's just somebody you don't see very often, and so they don't know you very well.
Your grandmother.
But they remember like 3 things about you.
And that's one of them. When you were 12, you loved Legos. So they keep on getting you a Lego set every year, and now you're 43.
Yeah.
And you no longer want Legos.
It may not even be like the item itself, but it's just like they get you a candle every year that's a scent that you don't care for. But how can you say that?
Because that's your thing.
Right. Yeah, every time I go to Hudson's house, he's always got a candle burning. Yeah, but not sweet pea. Not sweet pea.
And then when you open it every year, they're like, there it is. Your sweet pea candle I know you love. You know me. I got to get it for you.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
Talking the Christmas gift you know you're going to get every year, the same thing. It's probably from your mom, right? That thing that there's just a few things that you know you have such assurance that every year you'll find them under the tree. Isaiah was saying a lot of, like toothpaste,
hygiene,
deodorant, cologne, that kind of stuff from his mom. What's yours? 8772 Radio U. Esther says makeup every year. That's interesting. I actually have a survey here of the most likely things to receive every year. Makeup did come in at number 4. Pretty surprising.
Well, I think it's because makeup, you know exactly what you need.
Yeah.
So you can tell your mom, this is the makeup I use, and it's an easy gift for them.
Yeah, that makes...
Because there's no way to go outside the box. Like a lot of times, like with clothes, people don't always want you to tell them exactly what clothes you want because they feel like they could go outside the box and find something you'll like.
Yeah.
With makeup, there's only certain things that you even can use.
Right.
That'll match like your skin color and things like that. And so that's an easy one that mom or dad or boyfriend can just go and buy because there's no way for them to work outside the box.
Wow, I didn't know you knew so much about makeup.
You know me, brother.
Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Heather says, just like you said this underwear. Always know you're going to get underwear from a certain family member probably loves stocking you up on the underwear. Let's see. Oh, we have Susanna here who says books. Always know you're going to get a book. You must be a big reader then. That'd be tough. You always. Why do they keep giving me books? They know I don't read, right?
They're trying to get you to read.
What message are they trying to send?
Maybe I'll get you a book this year.
Yeah. I'll tell you the top answer on the list, and this makes a lot of sense, although nobody's texted it in yet, is candy. Candy or chocolate, which is true. Yeah.
Interesting.
47% of people in the survey said that they know they're always going to get candy every year. That is true. I don't always know where it comes from, but somehow I always wind up with Reese's Christmas trees. I guess it's Santa. Santa's doing it probably. Just showing up, filling the stocking with a bunch of candy and chocolate, which who's upset about that? Nobody. Some of the other ones at the top of the list, something homemade came in at number 2. You ever get any homemade gifts?
Not really.
Maybe that's people with kids. They like get the macaroni art or something.
Yeah, I don't get anything homemade, I don't think.
This one makes a lot of sense. Surprising that it wasn't higher on the list. A gift card or money. You don't know who always is good, but you just know, right? In this day and age, odds are a gift card's coming from somebody.
I love a good gift card.
But that was still only 46% of people saying that was something they knew they would always get. Then was makeup, books, and then like the rest of the list is all the stuff that you listed off that you get from your mom, which is like underwear, hygiene products, things of that nature.
The wild thing, this is the funniest thing. This isn't for me because my mom always gives me stuff that I want.
Yeah.
On these reoccurring gifts.
Uh-huh.
Imagine if somebody got you reoccurring gifts that you didn't like, but they thought it was like their thing.
Yeah.
I can imagine this happening already. Like if you told your mom or your cousin or your uncle that you like this one thing one time, you kind of like this cologne when you were like 11 years old. And ever since then, you're now 31 years old, and your one aunt has been getting you that same Axe cologne that you're like, Suzanne, like I don't use this anymore. It's like been 25 years.
A distant family, not even, it could be your aunt, but it's just somebody you don't see very often, and so they don't know you very well.
Your grandmother.
But they remember like 3 things about you.
And that's one of them. When you were 12, you loved Legos. They keep on getting you a Lego set every year, and now you're 43.
Yeah.
And you no longer want Legos.
It may not even be like the item itself, but it's just like they get you a candle every year that's a scent that you don't care for. But how can you say that?
Because that's your thing.
Right. Yeah, every time I go to Hudson's house, he's always got a candle burning. Yeah, but not sweet pea. Not sweet pea.
And then when you open it every year, they're like, there it is. Your sweet pea candle I know you love. You know me. I got to get it for you.
Disinformation, mispronunciations, bad impressions. That's Hudson. This is The Riot on Radio U.
You ever heard of the term doom spending?
It does sound familiar.
doom spending, apparently a very popular trend among folks our age, Gen Z. Doom spending is the practice of spending most of your money on luxury trips, costly escapades, and impulsive delights in an effort to cope with the ever-spiraling economy, as opposed to, putting some money away for a house or for kids or for whatever else you might want to save for. Doom spending is just getting rid of all of it. Spending on stuff you want now because the future's not guaranteed.
And I have seen some of my friends talking about this, not necessarily doom spending.
Yeah.
But just kind of the reason that this is happening is because home ownership and that kind of thing seems so far away from them. They're like, why am I saving in general if the home prices are going to be this expensive? I feel like I'm so far. I'm not going to be able to do it for years and years and years. Do I really want to save money now to buy a house when I'm 35? And you should.
Right.
But it's hard to.
Even if you don't buy a house when you're 35, having some extra to fall back on will feel nice.
It will.
It will. You'll be glad you did it later on in life. But it is funny. I just see this and I understand. I feel like, to me, there's just there's a tendency. You're younger. You're a little stupider. You're also a little more in the moment. I don't think it's specific to Gen Z. I just think people, when you're younger, you tend to be a little more free with your disposable income rather than putting it away. A few, I know there's several 20-somethings listening right now. They're like, I've saved. Yeah, good for you. I don't think that's what most people do. But I love how it's like here, they're blaming the economy. I didn't realize, like, we have to be the first generation that's so dialed in on the economy in our 20s. Like most people, I feel like aren't paying that much attention either until you have kids and a house. And that's when you start caring about the economy, not the other way around.
Yeah, a lot of them saying that the houses and rents and things like that, the home ownership is too expensive.
Yeah.
That's how they feel.
Well, there is a difference between maybe accepting the idea that it may never be possible for you to own a home and blowing all your money on, trips and whatever now, there's a wide gap between those two feelings and actions.
It is the truth, but at the same time, I've seen some pretty good Instagram posts. I've seen some pretty sweet TikToks. My friends have went some pretty cool places.
Yep.
Have I? Not so much. But they have went some cool places and done some cool things.
But think about the house you may have one day if you really try hard by the time you're 45.
Find more Riot content online. Riot.radiou.com.